Welcome, I'm Nicantros. If you're wondering where that big video is that I've been hyping up, I'll talk about that later. Rob's Media released a video recently showing a bunch of instances where YourMovieSucks, YMS, or Adum has criticized laws criminalizing zoophilia. According to Adum, people shouldn't go to jail for engaging in what he calls non-abusive sexual contact with animals, and he reiterated the stance in his response to Rob's video.
And my position has always been that even though I would like it not to happen, even though I don't like that thing, I have no interest in it, and I would prefer if other people don't do it. If you give me a world, where no people are doing that versus a world where people are doing that, I would choose the world where no people are doing that, right? That's always been my position. However, I do find it stupid that many of our legal policies regarding this issue are not based on the welfare of the animal.
He brings up how humans regularly make sexual contact with animals, not for pleasure, but for the purpose of breeding them as part of animal husbandry or agriculture.
If somebody is doing it but has a different thought in their head, if that's not their thought, but their thought is instead, oh, this is hot, or whatever, people believe that person should be in jail. Which, if you believe that, that's fine, but just admit that you want them to be in jail for a thought crime, right? You want them to be in jail because of what was happening in their brain, not because of the welfare of the animal, right? If it was because of the welfare of the animal, then you would also believe that other people should be in jail for doing the same thing. Again, not even considering the meat industry, not even considering that.
So his stance has always been that he's against zoophilia and bestiality. But didn't he say that animals can consent to sex with humans?
People have asked me, how is it possible for an animal to consent to a human being? And my answer was the same way it consents to another animal. Now, people have interpreted that as me saying animals want to have sex with human beings and therefore it's all good or whatever. People have interpreted that as me saying all actions, sexually towards animals are permissible because of that. That is not my position. Things that are a part of our common knowledge in pop culture, like America's Funniest Home Videos, right? There'll be a clip of like, a woman fell down a hill, and then the dog just starts humping her. And so my response is the dog not consenting to some sort of sexual act by doing a sexual act on the human, right? Sure, it's not informed consent, right? And that doesn't mean, oh, dog's humping you, therefore you can do something else to it. I never said that. It's not informed consent. It's not my standard for consent. But it seems possible, right? It seems like they have their own version.
So animals can consent to sex with humans, but merely being able to consent isn't enough. The animal would need to be able to give informed consent, which they can't, and so therefore Adum finds zoophilia immoral. But he questions why artificial insemination, etc. is illegal, but bestiality that doesn't harm the animal is criminal. There's many angles from which you can criticize Adum's deep philosophical thinking here. In the case of Rob's Media, he compared Adum to Vosh, since Vosh liked to debate the ethics of pedophilia before it was revealed that he had Lolly on his computer, and more recently it came out that he had tried to groom a minor in 2017. So Rob is suspecting that Adum is secretly a zoophile or pro-zoophilia behind the scenes. But Adum claims that's not the case at all. He's never held that position. So, is Adum like Vosh? Is he a zoophile or a zoophilia supporter? He says he isn't, but I think Adum is in denial. I think he's suffering from repressed memories. I found this old videotape which I thought was interesting. Let's check it out.
I'm not a support of animal rape. I'm a supporter of consensual zoophilia. I don't encourage it. I'm not gonna convince someone to try it. I've never tried it. I don't intend on ever trying it, but I recognize that people exist that will live their whole lives with an urge to do something like that, and meanwhile, while every other person on the planet gets to fulfill their eternal psychological, emotionally/physically driven urges, these other people on the planet that are attracted to the wrong thing somehow aren't able to do that, despite not harming animals in any way that they wouldn't be harmed through any other non-sexual activity,
10 years ago, he identified himself as a zoophilia supporter, and he portrayed zoophiles as victims of societal injustice. I'm going to give him some mercy. This video is from 10 years ago, but no matter what, he's lied to his audience. He either lied about never having supported zoophilia, or he's lying right now and he actually does still support it, but he's simply learned to hide his true beliefs. What about his stance on animals' capacity for consent?
To suggest that there's no such thing as consensual human/animal sex is to be the most naive person on the fucking planet. Dogs try to hump your fucking leg. That's all the evidence I need. I don't have to have sex with an animal to know that animals don't have the same type of reservations that human beings do when it comes to sex. If it feels good, they're probably okay with it. If they try to bite you or run away, that's probably a sign that they're not okay with it. So the argument that, oh, you can't tell if it's consenting or not, even though it's clearly enjoying itself. Okay, such bullshit. I can't believe people. I can't believe how much of society is just dictated by people saying, I don't like it, or ick, that's gross, or they're not a part of my tribe. It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting to me. Human-animal sex is not nearly as disgusting as the mentality that discriminates against people who have never abused animals that are attracted to animals.
I'd like to point out that this is not a live stream VOD. It is a highlight. He thought he was really spitting here.
I'm sure if somebody was having sex with an animal and they were enjoying it and they got caught, I'm sure they would be able to prove that the animal's enjoying it in court. If they're allowed to just do it and record it again or something, I'm sure they'd be able to prove it if that's what they're doing. If somebody's abusing an animal and having sex with it, I am not in favor of that. But I'm just not naive enough to believe that there's no such thing as an animal that can enjoy having sex with a human being. They're just horny fucking animals. They don't give a shit. They don't have sex and then go, oh, I wonder what he thought about me, or am I really with the right person, or is this what I want to do with my life, or any of the other human psychologically repressed reservations that we have. Animals don't do that. They don't think that far. They just want to ejaculate. That's all they want to do.
So in the past he believed that a human standard of consent doesn't apply to animals. Not just that, but he claims there's no evidence that consensual human-animal interactions are psychologically harmful to the animal.
If we gave a shit about animals being psychologically affected, even though A, there's no evidence to suggest that they would be negatively psychologically affected by consensual, enjoyable sex. Even if there were, you don't put people in jail for leaving a dog in a kennel when it doesn't want to be in a kennel. You don't put people in jail for feeding an animal the same food over and over again its entire life. You don't put people in jail for leaving a dog in your back porch with nowhere to go to the bathroom, leave it there for like 8 hours while you're gone to work, come back, and once you see that it pissed itself because it had nowhere to go, then you rub their fucking nose in their piss. You don't put people in jail for that, so you shouldn't put people in jail for sucking a dog's dick. Seriously, the world is fucked up. The world is so fucked up. We eat and kill animals. We are discriminating against people, and the only reason that people hold a different standard to it is because they're attracted to something that other people aren't. And that is what is absolutely disgusting about this. Anyway, I'm passionate about it because it's huge discrimination going on right now.
Are you sure there's nothing else behind this passion?
I stand by these statements. I don't... If I'm crucified for these statements, then 20 years from now, people will look back at this and be like, wow, I can't believe all these people were that stupid to crucify him for those statements.
He literally believes that zoophilia will be normalized in 10 years, and he's all for it.
I believe that by making these statements that I am on the right side of history, is all I'm saying.
He's on the right side of history. So Adum claims he's always held certain positions, but now it turns out that that was false. Not only was he far more supportive of zoophilia in the past, he explicitly identified himself as a zoophilia supporter. He also claims he's gone on these rants multiple other times.
I'll say this again, I went on this same rant in like 20 other videos.
He seems to have some heavy personal investment in the subject. It doesn't seem like a random thought experiment. If you look up the full highlight, his arguments and examples are very similar to the ones he brings up now. He's clearly lied and omitted that he supported zoophilia in the past, so his credibility isn't looking too hot. But it only gets worse. In his response to Rob's video, he decided to accuse him of sending nudes to minors and for grooming children. He repeated the claim on Twitter and then retweeted an implication that Rob is a pedophile. What's the basis for these claims? Rob showed the name of Adum's NSFW Twitter account and described some posts from it. Adum claims he is worried about kids being funneled to the account through Rob's video. So why didn't he set that account to protect it? It's his account. If he genuinely believed that masses of minors were flowing to it, shouldn't he have done that? Adum clearly doesn't believe that this is a real issue. It's a total distraction. He did a bit in one of his videos where he shows himself going to a furry porn website and then describes some of the posts.
Predator pornography. I should look some up right now.
Oh look, he's added a YouTube studio blur. Covering up that one letter will really do wonders. He's telling kids about a website full of thousands and thousands of videos and images, and he's showing himself going on it like it's all normal. It's a casual, normal thing to do.
I didn't describe any of these images beyond saying, oh, a demigorgon's in one, haha, that's funny. I didn't say what sex acts are taking place in the images. I didn't say who was penetrating who. And also, it's not in the context of, let's shame this person, right? It's not in that context. It's in the context of, haha, this movie's so boring that I'm gonna look up porn.
No, that literally makes it worse. Rob is telling the kids in his audience, people who go on these websites and enjoy this material are disgusting degenerates and they should be ashamed. If Rob has impressionable children in his audience who take what he says seriously, do you think they're more or less likely to visit those sites? How do you think the impressionable children in your audience respond to you showing looking up porn as a casual thing to do when you're bored? You review and talk about kids' movies. There's no way you have 0 kids in your audience. Also, you have absolutely no business having this tone, given your history.
Don't post that shit in chat. Don't post links. I'm pretty sure certain states have laws against that, so I don't want any of that porn in this chat. Animated porn, that's okay, but I would ask that mods would regulate to make sure. I didn't even click on the link, so I don't know if what you posted was legit or not, but I'm just saying, no actual animal porn in my chat, please. I don't want that shit.
His first objection to what he perceives is animal porn being linked to his chat is on the basis of legality, not morality. And then he okayed people posting what he calls animated animal porn. Now that doesn't mean that he doesn't morally object to legit animal porn, but if you have a history of enabling this kind of culture in your chat, especially on a site like Twitch, which is 13+, you probably shouldn't jump into unhinged pedophilia allegations.
And yes, in that comment, I say, this is grooming behavior, and I call him out in all caps, and I do a little schizo shit, right? I was ass mad because I was typing this as I was at TIFF in between fucking, running around watching 4 movies a day.
I don't think that Rob showing Adum's NSFW Twitter name is funneling kids to adult content in any meaningful way. I'm saying that as someone who knows what it looks like when a YouTuber is profiting from exposing masses of minors to porn and has been getting away with it for years. PewDiePie, the face of YouTube. In 2015, he made a video reacting to a child porn cartoon because it was a popular meme on 4chan, an 18+ website. He has a massive, young, and impressionable audience, and he still decided to show them this adult material.
Am I watching child porn for YouTube? Is this where we are right now? Because it looks like it.
The video isn't age restricted, and if you look at the comments, your worst fears are confirmed. How many of you are under 13?
Look at that! Look how old he is! He's like 12! How is this okay?
This video has 14 million views. PewDiePie easily made $100,000 off of this video while exposing millions of children to adult content that could normalize adult-child relationships to them. It continues to receive comments from children to this very day, who request instructions on how to find the material, and then they report back being disturbed and shocked after seeing it.
Hello. Today I'm playing.
They are publishing these comments for any internet predator in the world to see, telling them that they are a child who's been exposed to adult material. Some might say it's the parents' responsibility to make sure their kids don't see this stuff, but this is a 13+ website. One of the kids literally reports having watched it in a school computer lab. How is a parent supposed to stop that? I'm not judging PewDiePie using modern standards here. There were plenty of people in his comments from the start saying he's exposing kids to this stuff and requesting for the video to get age restricted. However, those pleas fell on deaf ears. For some reason, the media didn't care about this either. It's not like he said the N-word. Now that's a real story. Do I think it would be legitimate to call PewDiePie a pedophile and a child groomer for this? No, I still think that this is gross neglect. What about Adum though? He's left in a pretty unenviable situation. He's a furry who enjoys explicit illustrations of animals, and he's been obsessed with debating the morality of zoophilia for over 10 years. Now it's revealed that he totally lied to his audience about never having supported zoophilia. Not only was he a supporter of zoophilia, he believed he was on the right side of history, and that it would be normalized in 10 years. After already having been caught lying about his position, he has to convince everyone he doesn't still secretly support zoophilia. He also needs people to believe him when he says that his attraction to explicit illustrations of animals has no connection with being attracted to real animals. At least he didn't claim to be a zoophile in that old stream. That's already something, but being willing to admit you're pro-zoophilia is one level of crazy. Being willing to admit you're a zoophile is another. There is one way in which Adum can potentially demonstrate he has actually changed his mind and that he's not hiding his power level. People have been calling for Rob to debate Adum on bestiality, but I think Adum should debate his past self instead. Debate yourself now! Break out the studies and the citations and walk us step by step on how you arrived at your current position from this past one. That's all I have to say about Adum. So, where is my big video? It was supposed to come out on the 11th, but now it's almost October. I'd like to apologize for causing a disappointment. Announcing that date was really stupid because I was nowhere near finished, and my estimates were completely off. You might question, how can it take so long for me to make this video about the secret feud that caused Mutaha's post-Nux clarity, especially given how basic the editing in this video is? The answer is pretty simple. I'm putting a lot more effort into that video than I did in this one. I'm aiming to cause maximum impact, and I'll be leaving you with a teaser, which I hope demonstrates that I am doing something.